Like,
Yeah.
I can't tell them to wake up in the morning and push hard and give it their all if I'm half stepping, if I'm not competing at the highest level that I possibly can. You know, I always said I want to win in everything, and that means that fire is still in my belly to compete in anything. So that's just what wakes me up with the hunger to still do what I do.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video, we're going to go over an interview Bud Crawford just did on Shawn Porter's podcast called The Porter Way. If you want to watch the entire interview, it's on YouTube. Just type in Shawn Porter, Porter Way, and Bud Crawford. That interview is an hour and 20 minutes plus. Bud's on the show for maybe 25 minutes. He also interviews Rayo. Bacoli's on the show. So I'll leave that link posted. But in this video, it's all about Crawford answering questions about the Madrimov fight. And I find it really insightful to hear from the fighter himself break down his own performance. You're going to hear him talk about how he's watched the fight multiple times and see what he saw. He's going to talk about the championship rounds. Basically, during my breakdown that everybody has seen on my page, it's good to hear from the fighter himself agree on certain things that a lot of you guys have agreed upon with what I saw, and some have disagreed, which is fine. We don't want echo chambers. I actually welcome the disagreement as long as they're insightful with evidence. But you're going to hear Bud talk about those championship rounds, how in his head, turning the gas up wasn't about being down on the cards. It was more about doing what the greats do, finishing and closing the show. Also, guys, I want to thank everybody, the new subscribers, everyone who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, please hit the notification button. What that will allow me to do is pop up in your feed every time I create new content. If you haven't watched my breakdown of Crawford versus Madrimov, that's also tagged in the video here. And hopefully you enjoy this. In the comment section below, what do you make of Bud Crawford's assessment of his performance? Leave all that in the comment section below.
I saw that, he was trying to counter me. You know, he was doing a lot of movement, a lot of feinting, but he wasn't throwing a lot. You know, he was trying to get me to bite on the feints, to drop my hands so he can throw an overhand right. You know, I took away his left hand completely. Mm-hmm. You know, if you watch that fight, he really wasn't throwing too much of the left, really. He'd dart in with the right here and there, but too much, not really nothing, you know, and I was trying to open him up, but you know, he stayed disciplined, and you know, he just stayed disciplined. He's not really, because to be honest, he never hurt me or buzzed me or anything with nothing he threw. Yeah. You know, and even looking back at the fight, I didn't watch the fight like 3 times. Like, I didn't see what a lot of people seen, like him hitting me these crazy amount of times with right hands. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, he landed a few right hands, but it wasn't as much as I thought it was hearing from the outsiders. You know, it's a boxing match. We're gonna get hit, you know? Yeah. And I felt as if I hurt him a couple of times in there. I felt as if he respected my power more than I respected his, because there was times that I tried to step forward and he started moving and clinching, you know, but I felt if there was anything that I could have did more was push the action more, made him fight more, go to the body more, you know, make it a dog fight, you know, because once I started letting my hands go, as you see, he was more uncomfortable than anything. It comes with the territory, you know, and then it just shows me how far I am, you know, in the game, where they praying, they hoping, they wishing that I lose. That was just a real eye opener. Like everybody, they just like, man, this guy, before he retired, man, we just want him to lose one. We just want him to lose one, and you can see it on their face. And I felt as if, you know, they like, this is our chance. This is our chance. And Madrimov kind of let him down because he wasn't throwing enough. But at the same time, even when I was walking backwards, you know, I always felt like I was in control. I always felt I was in control. I felt like I was controlling the pace. I was controlling everything. You know, my jab was working great that night, and he respected me so much. He wouldn't come in and do all the things that he normally would do with any other fight. You know, and I told everybody from the jump, I don't care how it come, whether it's 12 rounds or knockout, I'm gonna win the fight. And that's what I did. And, you know, we understand that he's the champion, and you gotta beat the champion, and needs the championship rounds, and they called the championship rounds for a reason. So of course we want to end the fight strong and put a stamp on it. We've been boxing, you know, the whole fight. You know, now it's time to separate ourselves. You know, he looking up at the clock, and he's trying to, you know, find a way to pass time by, and I'm like, oh no, now it's time to step on the gas and separate myself.